Hey guys, Sharpshooter1 here again with another tutorial. So today what we're going to do is we are going to talk about functions, if statements, and instances. So first thing you need to do is go to Roblox Studio. If you don't have it already, check out my first tutorial, and in that tutorial I explain how to acquire Roblox Studio. It is a completely free thing to use. No purchases necessary, so don't worry about anything like that. Base plate. Okay, so we're here. So now open up a script. I expanded the text a little bit so you guys can see it better. And I also got a new video recorder, which you might have already realized. It's the easy vid thing didn't show up. This one is from Microsoft, just like Microsoft Expression Pro or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's much better than EasyVid, and so that's what I'm going to be using. It can record 180 HD, so you guys will get much better quality videos now. Okay, so first I think I should explain instances, alright? So, I might have explained this a little bit before. Instances are all the things in this advanced objects bar right here. You can insert almost all of them manually. I think there might be a few hidden instances you can only access with scripts, but yeah. So to create an instance, you do a simple command called instance.new. All right. We're most likely gonna want to we're gonna name it as a variable that equals part. That's that way we can reference it again later. All right. So to create a part, you type in part equals instance.new, and then you type in what the name of the part is in quotation marks. Be aware that this is Roblox is case sensitive, so if you type in one letter it's like a wrong case, then it won't create the object. So we're gonna type in part, and then we're going to put it in workspace. I should explain this line a bit more. So what you do is we're doing part equals instance.new, and we're defining what we're creating, which is a part. And then after here, you see this little comma there. You put that there after the quotation marks, and then you put the parent of the objects that you're creating, which is going to be the workspace, which is right here. All right. So we do that. Now we need to do its position. All right. So what you do is type in part dot, and so be aware that when you type in dot, Roblox knows that you're either defining that you're either referencing to a parent, a child, or a property. But we are talking about a property, all right? So we're going to change its position. So to do that, you do part.position equals vector3.new. Then we're going to do 0, 100, 100, 0. So I'm going to explain what vector3 is. Vector3 is a way of defining. It is a way of defining a position in 3D space, or a size. So 3 for the 3 coordinates, and vector is just a way of defining something. Kind of hard to explain, but you know, vector3. And then you dot new to show that you're making a new vector3 value. And you type in the 3 coordinates: x, which is width, y, which is height, and then z, which is depth, which is kind of like what makes you see 3D, sort of. Alright, so we don't want it to fall, so what we're going to do is we're going to do part dot anchored equals true. So what anchored does is it enables or disables gravity. We are disabling gravity right now, so it cannot be affected by physics. So let's press run, and see, it created the part right up there. See? Let's check its position. Position is 0, 100, 0, and you can see it's anchored. See? When I unanchor it, gravity is enabled. Watch. See? It fell, but once I click anchored, gravity, it disabled gravity for it. Okay. So we got that down. And that's pretty much how you create a part. It's that easy. There are other properties you can manipulate too, but we will get into those things some other time in later tutorials. All right. So now I'm going to define functions. All right. So functions are blocks of code that you can call on later in the script. So like an example of a function is the print command. What it does, it prints whatever you put into these parentheses into the output down here. Alright? So instead of typing in whatever code Roblox is typing to make this function do what it does, you just type in the word print and then those parentheses, and then it'll play whatever they programmed into it. So to create a function, it's very simple. All you do is type in function and the name of the function, which we're just going to name hello, alright, and then parentheses. Just enter, and there's an end at the end of the function. There, now you just created your first function, alright? So, you don't have anything, it's not going to do anything because there's no code inside here. Nevertheless, it is still a function. So, to give it something to do, we're just going to do print hello viewers, please like and subscribe. Alright, so one thing to keep in mind is that functions do not execute the same as regular lines of code do. What Roblox does is that it goes through every line of code. When it sees the word function like this, it thinks, okay, this person's defining a function, don't execute what follows. Alright, so then it'll memorize what this thing says as inside of this thing right here, and then once it sees the end, it'll say, okay, they just stopped defining the function, so now I can start executing things. So it won't play as it reads it. So to call a function and make what happens inside of your function play, you just type in the name of the function and then you type in those two parentheses like that. So let's press play, see what happens. See down here it says, hello viewers, please like and subscribe. Alright, so that's what you can do. But let's say you didn't want the functions to do just that. We want to have some variety. So this is where parameters come in, right? So parameters are like basically variables. We described in like the second tutorial. Alright, so type in the name of the variable or parameter inside of the parentheses. So we're just gonna name it message right now. And so instead of this thing printing hello viewers, please like and subscribe, we're going to make it say whatever the value of message is. Alright, see that? Alright, so to define what the value of this variable or parameter is going to be, inside the parentheses, in quotation marks, just type in what you want to say. So it's going to say, I like pizza. Let's press play. So it says, I like pizza, instead of saying what I previously said. Alright. So that can be anything you want. You can put numbers in there, spaces, whatever the heck you want. So now I'm going to describe the return command that you can use with functions. So to use the term return command, you type in the word return, and then type in what you're going to the variable you're going to return. So we're just going to type in message, alright? So let's explain what the return thing does. The return command, basically what it does, it kind of turns the function into like a variable itself. So then you can use it later, like, so what we're going to do, we're going to print the hello function, and so inside of these, we're going to type in what we want it to say. Now we're just going to say, let's say I like Roblox. Alright, so we got that. So what it's going to do, so here's the parameter, alright? But this function is returning what that parameter says to you. So basically, it's assigning, whatever you type it in as the parameter in to the function as a variable, kind of. So let's play it and we'll see what happens. So he says, I like Roblox, and it shows that happy face. Right? That's what you can. That's how you use the return thing. And so parameters, they don't have to be just text. They could be numbers, objects, vector 3 values, just about anything you could think of that's inside of Roblox. If not, then Roblox will say some kind of error out here, and then you can figure out a way around it. Alright, so we got that down. Now let's go into if statements, the last thing on our list here. So an if statement is just like what it sounds. It's kind of like how if your mom said, if you go clean your room, you can go outside, right? So it's like the same format. You type in if, and you type in the conditional statement, which is like, you know, the condition, like if you go clean out your room, that's the condition right there. Alright, so first we're gonna make a variable called x, and it's gonna equal 5, alright? So we're gonna say, if x equals 5, then, alright, then you type in your block of code in here. So first I'm going to explain this right here. So you're wondering, why are the two equal signs right here? The reason why is because, keep in mind this is like this for just about all programming languages, I believe. So one equal sign means you're assigning something, alright? Two equal signs means you're checking, alright? So we're checking if x is equal to 5. That's basically what two equal signs do. Alright? So we got that. So we're going to make it say if x is equal to 5, then we're going to print x equals 5. That happy face. I like that happy face. Alright. Let's do play. X is equal to 5, see? But to show that it's not, you know, it's not checking it, I mean, so to prove to you that it is checking it, and I'm not just kind of setting this up, I'm going to just change it to these numbers, right? Let's press play. So nothing happened because x was not equal to 5. But let's say you wanted to check if it was greater than or equal to 5, because this is going to be handy in shops, alright? So what you do is just type in the greater than symbol and then the equal to symbol. The equal symbol. This will check if it is greater than or equal to this defined number right here, which is 5. Alright? So there's x equals 5 because that's what I programmed to do. But we should probably say x is greater than or equal to 5. Oops. There. Let's press play. It says x is greater than or equal to 5. And it's the same thing if you want to check if it's less than or equal to 5. Just switch that out with the less than sign. So let's switch that one out too. So let's play it. And see, nothing happened. You know why? Because x was not less than or equal to 5. So let's set it to like negative those numbers, right? 5599. Let's do that. And it says x is less than or equal to 5. Well, let's say you just wanted to check if it was. Let's say you just wanted to check if it was greater than 5. You just do the greater than symbol. Simple as that. And then you do the less than symbol. It's very simple for that. And also, in if statements, they don't have to be just numbers. They could check like if something exists, like in the workspace, like maybe the base plate. So what I'll do is that change this to say base plate is here. It is in the space. Alright. So let's make this thing do workspace find first child base plate. Alright, so I'm going to explain what this find first child thingy does, alright? So, oh, whoops, can I get rid of that? I'll throw an error. Oh, semicolon. Alright, so here's what it does. This is what this if statement is doing right here. So it is going into the workspace, which is right here, which is what the base plate is in, and it is doing find first child, and it's looking for base plate. So to explain what the thing is, sorry about that, I actually knocked my microphone down. Alright, so you could also do workspace dot base plate. But the thing is, let's say base plate was not existent. It would throw an error at you like this. Just delete that and then click play. See, base plate is not a valid member of workspace. What that means is that base plate is basically not in there, alright? And so, the great thing about output is that it will tell you what the error is, and what script it's located in, where the script is located, and what line of the script the error is located in. That is can be a very useful feature. It can save you a lot of time. Alright, so let's bring that back. Alright, so if the thing is non-existent, then it'll just throw an error at you. So what we want to do is semicolon find first child, inside parentheses type in the name of the object. So what this will do is that it will look for that object inside wherever you specify, which is workspace. Alright? And so if it exists, it will return the object. Alright? If not, it will return nil, and it will not return an error to your script, which will make it so your script can keep running, and it won't throw an error and it won't stop. Alright? So if base plate is existent, it will run to this code right here. It'll print base plate is in the workspace, alright? And if not, it just won't do anything. So let's play it with the base plate in there. Alright, it said base plate is in the workspace. Okay? So let's see what happens when we destroy it, alright? Let's do play. See, nothing happened down here because base plate was not existent. Alright? Hope that makes sense to you guys. So now let's put everything I just taught you and put it together and put it together in something you could use. So let's make a function that will create a part, alright? So we create function. I'm gonna name it make part, so it's the most convenient. And so let's make it spawn at the position we specify in the parameter, alright? As I said before, parameters can also be vector3 values, which is what we're going to use. So let's use an if statement, alright? It's kind of pointless, but it's just something to use what I just taught you. So let's do if workspace find first child base plate, then so once again this will look in the workspace, look for its child, which is named base plate. If base plate is there, then it will go into the next line of code. Alright? So what we want to do is we want to make a part. Alright? We're gonna make the variable part to make it easy to, kind of self-explanatory. So instance.new, which is how you create an instance. And so we're going to type in the word part. And we're going to put it in the workspace. Alright, so you see this little blue squiggly line under the variable part? That means either one of two things. One, meaning the variable does not exist, or two, it needs to be a local variable. If I put my cursor over it, it says W003 global part is only used in the enclosing function. Consider changing it to local. So what you do to change a variable to local, all you do is type in the word local. So the reason why you do that is because I'm really not 100% sure why I do that. I think I read one time in the wiki that it will make the interpreter a little bit faster at reading your code and playing it. So it's just good practice to do it, and it'll kind of like rid you of that annoying blue line right there. Alright, that's the little thing on local variables. So you got that down, local part. So now we need to make it anchored so it'll stay where we put it. So part.anchored equals true, which will disable gravity for that part. So we're going to change the position to position. So that's how I didn't type in vector3.new. That's because this position variable is going to equal a vector3 value. So basically we're still typing in vector3.new right here. So let's call the function make part, and then we're going to do vector3.new. Alright, so we're just gonna do 50, 20, and then 34.5 just for random. Just make it random kind of. So let's play it. Oops. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's play. Alright, so you created the part at the exact position we just defined, 50, 20, 34.5, and it is anchored to. So if you change it, do that. So it'll anchor it like exactly how it is, so it can't move from that. And actually, to show you that, let's move down lower, to show that it can't be affected by any other like kind of like physics or players, something like that. Let's put it like lower, like 0, 1, 10, no 5, 0. Alright, let's do that. Let's play with a character in there to show that the character could not mess around with it and move it. Let's load my character right here. So here's the part. As you can see in its properties, it is anchored right here. And so my player is touching it, but he cannot move it. So you can jump on top of it, it won't go anywhere. But if I unanchor it, okay. There we go. See, I can move it. I can mess around with it and stuff. Yeah, see. Alright, so that is all how to teach you guys today. Thank you for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions about the video, or there's something you don't understand, or if you think I missed something in this video, then just say something in the comments. Alright? So this is Sharp Tree 1, and I'll see you guys later.